Order number 47. Number 47, your order's ready.
What's up, guys?
What up?
Man,
We're
Yeah.
recording now.
what a time. What a time.
Are you guys safe?
Yeah.
Think
All
so.
is good. Somewhat.
Hollywood.
Welcome to an emergency podcast, live video chat. Ruckus, Vice, Eric Dlux, FAED. Where you at, Ruckus? You in Vegas?
I am in Las Vegas.
I saw a photo of Vegas with, I think it was like the Mirage Casino's lights all the way off. I've never seen that in my life.
The whole strip, man. The whole strip right now. If you like during the nighttime, it's completely dark. It's crazy. Like the largest hotels, the Mirage, the Mandalay Bay, all these hotels, it's just that they're blacked out. It's crazy.
Damn.
30 days, was that right? 30 days, Vegas is shut.
Yeah.
Good question. You know, I
That's
don't
what the
know
mayor
what the,
announced.
I think it was 30 days, yeah.
30 days.
you got to think though, like that kind of stuff, like even the power turning off for a building like that or for the city like this that's burning so much power, like even for 24 hours has got to be good for
Right.
environment some way.
I think there's obviously we're in a pandemic where there's a lot of wrong going on, but there's a lot of good as well for us as individuals too. Like being able to like stay your ass put without the anxiety of like, oh, I should be doing more, or I should be here, I should be there, or you know, even any type of FOMO for just fun shit. Like you get to clean your house.
Yeah. I make a mess.
To think, like what else was going to do this for us? Like was there anything else that could have possibly happened that that we would live through that's going to stop the
9/11. Yeah, 9/11 never even shut this down like to this
9/11
point.
was like,
This is wild.
yeah,
I mean,
9/11 was like gear up more.
The closest feeling I remember was when Eric and I were in Vegas during the shooting, the mass shooting. We were like on the strip.
Yeah.
Like we actually like our Will and like our other homie all stay at the house at the apartment, and we're just like scared as fuck.
Yeah, we were basically on lockdown for like the night and maybe the next day, but like this is the entire world basically.
Levels, man.
Yeah.
It's like movie type shit,
Yeah, man.
It's definitely
What are some of the things you guys have been doing in the quarantine? Or do you guys have some? I know Ruckus might have some quarantines.
that's what you can't do. That's how you fuck around and catch the ting ting.
The ting ting. That's when the ting ting stops working.
Yeah, that's what you
got working.
Hey, COVID-19.
Now, what's some things you guys have been doing?
You want me to go first, Ruck?
Yeah,
Go ahead, man.
I swept my whole house, which I've
That's
never
a lot
done.
of square footage to sweep. So
Well, it's because I like the cleaning people that usually come here. I nix them, and I was like, I'm handling this myself.
You cancel the cleaning people?
Yeah, cancel the yeah, hell yeah. I canceled the cleaning people. That's not happening.
Yeah.
I'm on complete lockdown, mostly because my parents are senior citizens, and I don't want to be that one that goes to. I haven't visited them this whole time, so I've been like waiting to make sure like everything gets good, and weeks go by, and then I can go back over there. But yeah, doing a lot of cleaning and just like home front stuff like that I've gotten to do, and I haven't even, to be quite honest, dude, I haven't even like cracked open my iTunes or sessions or anything like that. And I don't know when this is going to air, but I mean, this is only a few days.
We might air this tonight, bro.
Oh, okay.
Emergency podcast.
Nice.
going live.
We're recording this.
Because the way things moving,
6-7 days in.
the way things are moving is like something might be different tomorrow.
Yeah,
Like like
I'm calling about 2 months.
you think 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months for what?
I think 2 months from like where operations back to normal, where businesses are open, where people are going places freely, not necessarily
I'm
worried
thinking
about.
like 3 or 4, but
When do you think like, all right, clubs, our gigs, packed back to normal, like realistically, like because when things open, I can't imagine someone saying like, oh shit, let's go to Marquee.
Right.
Granted, this is all speculation and knowing that we have no clue when this will come back. But what we do got to prepare for is when it does come back, how the climate of nightclubs will change.
Yeah.
How many people, in the sense, I feel like it's maybe like an older demographic that are going to be like, I don't want to
they're gonna
go.
for sure.
But younger 21 on the dot might be like, let's go.
No, they don't
First
care.
day kids are gonna lose it. But
Lose it.
I wonder how long it's going to take for people to get back into operation. So I mean, I'm sure companies are got to be laying people off, got to be like not putting people on retainer that are, so all of the people in between. And this is what makes this tough. This is like, you know, we're lucky that we've all been, you know, successful enough to weather us, you know, as long of a storm as hopefully as we can. But like, you know, the people that are in between, the bartenders, the hostess, the, you know, the bussers, all that stuff, and all security guards and drivers, are all of those people are going to be able to be back in action immediately when this all comes back into play? Or are they going to still have jobs the way that they normally do? And, you know, is it the day that we have this sort of clear up to this situation going to be like full on, full throttle again? Or is it going to be this happening, this quarantine, and then this lull into getting things back to normal? This could very possibly be, we want to end up playing in another country a lot quicker than here in the US.
True that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the homies tweeted like, "Yo, Japan's like wide open, like all the clubs are open. Should I just fly out there?" I'm like, "Bruh."
Japan was talking about still doing the Olympics.
Yeah, they're still going as yeah.
Well, as of now, EDC still has not canceled.
EDC
So,
hasn't?
EDC is not canceled. That's in May in Vegas. So I mean,
wow, really?
Yeah, maybe they're just holding on to their you know, spot at the raceway where it is, and hoping that everything comes back in time.
Like
That's in May.
Out, like 2 weeks out, they're probably gonna cancel it.
May seems too soon.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to say like back in action in the clubs, it'll be like July, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking June, July.
Yeah. And speaking of that, that's where we got to get creative on our side, and how we keep our brands going, and how we keep, you know, everyone, you know, consumed with whatever we can give them as far as giving back.
Yeah, I did a mix yesterday. That was kind of fun because it was like
random.
I was like in my iTunes going by BPM, like not even caring about moving the dance floor. It was just shit I wanted to hear, and it got really good feedback. People are like, "Yo, this is dope. I need it." Like, people have nothing but time, and they just kind of want content mixes. I see a lot of DJs going live on streams. I know Vice, you did that briefly, right? For your
I did it briefly
on Angela's page.
And I want to speak on it though, because a lot of DJs are doing it, and I was getting ready to do it, but the quality sometimes sounds like shit, like straight ass, because everyone just like has their phone there, and it's like picking up off the phone speaker. So I did my research and was starting to like dig through how to like properly live stream, like because it gets changing.
Oh, what's the plug?
There's like the iRig you could use. There's a roll and go mixer. The roll and go mixer where you can actually plug in straight from your mixer to this tiny little roll and go mixer, and that plugs into your iPhone. So you're actually getting a direct signal from your mixer to your phone.
There's one here. I'll show it. That way DJ is looking at it. Hold on.
Yeah, what do you have? You have the roll and go, or you guys probably have the iRig?
iRig.
Okay. Tech conversation.
Yeah, but I like this stuff because I didn't even know. You know what I mean? Like I actually picked it up off Matt Cut Corners from Serato, and he posted a little video that had the roll and go mixer. So that's the iRig. So that way you're getting at least all these DJs that I want to listen to.
Audio from the mixer,
Since we're audio nerds as it is, like I want to hear a good sound quality. You know what I mean? I'm listening to my headphones. I'm listening to a live stream.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All distorted.
That makes the difference. Because otherwise, you don't want to hear the room noise and the
Right. And then the other thing for DJs, I feel too right now, is we can't monetize on this. There's no way to monetize.
Well, so that's the aspect that this is tough. So like, no matter how we look at it, no matter how, there's guys that are successful. There's, these guys that are like the bigger of the thing that are losing $2-3 million now in the next 3 months, whatever it is. And, depending on how you live, that's putting a damper on your lifestyle, or, a damper on any situation. So, it's tough to see like what do we do as DJs, and then also like as the companies, like there's a lot of the companies that have a lot of us work for Tile Group and stuff, and they have a great amount of backing with people that have weather the storm type cash. But all of the ones that don't have it, who comes out on the other side of this with a bunch of folded nightclubs, or too much debt to handle or to pay off, or too many lease fees to keep to open back up.
It's also a wake-up call for a lot of us as well. I feel it's a wake-up call to understand, like, a lot of us are just relying on straight DJing, like straight being out in the club and working and DJing. So it's also like in this time, it's a good time to reflect on how else you can expand your brand and have multiple sources of income.
Right.
As we always talk about that, but like this is more than ever the time where you have enough time to figure out
how do you act on it, and how do you
act on it. Yeah.
Monetize it? You know, I'm sure you could probably do some research. There's some streaming services that are popping up that are probably have advertising dollars that are being allocated to the people that are bringing in numbers. But you know, still, it's a little bit hindsight. It's kind of late to try to pull the trigger now and get something going where that's substantial.
Yeah, definitely.
Was it OnlyFans or fans only? What's that?
Whoa, hold on.
Hey.
No. Fashion was telling me he was trying to do one, and then it said the copyright shit on there is like crazy. So
you can't stream mixes right now. Like you can't. It's interesting though, because on Mixcloud you can upload mixes. On you can upload mixes on podcasts. But if you go live on YouTube, you're gonna get nixed as soon as you're playing a popular type of record. If you're going to like eccentric like house mix and deep house shit, like they're not gonna catch you on those mixes. But once you start playing Drake and anything big like that, Post Malone, you're gonna get nixed.
Yeah.
Damn. We're in a weird spot right now, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's true. I think we get a lot of DMs on the Headliner Music Club, like DJs asking like, what's some other ways to like get income? A lot of DJs aren't working. Like, there's no answer. Like, it's not even just DJs. It's like you said, there's everybody. Everyone's taking a hit. Everyone's going through this, figuring it out together. Like, unfortunately, we're just gonna have to deal with this crazy storm together, and then hope we make it out and it gets better, which it will. It's gonna take time, but it will. And then that's it. Like the thing about it is like, don't panic, because it's not just you. Like a lot of people like to feel alone during times like this. Like, oh shit, like I'm missing out on money, or I lost my job. It's like, no, you didn't lose your job. Everybody lost their job. Even you lost your job because the company you work for like is closing or whatever. Like it's everybody. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Global, man.
Yeah. All the gyms are all.
That hurt Ruckus.
Woo!
Ruckus, man. Are you gonna lose your 6-pack, bro? Are you gonna lose your 12-pack? I don't know.
Ruckus got the
18-pack.
Knox is down. The whole team.
You got the prison workouts, bro.
Yeah. Talk about your workout game right now. Are you still sticking to it, or how are you doing this?
Yeah. I since I did this, I took that fight for Operation Smile last year, which is something that I really wanted to do. I'd been talking about it in interviews, and it, of course, you know how you bring something to fruition. It just landed in my lap. Got a phone call, and they were like, "Yeah, I heard you, into boxing. Would you want to do this?" And from then on, I kind of had this thing with like I didn't want to miss a day of working out that I didn't have to. If I could stay as consistent as possible. I ended up losing the fight by a point decision, but it had a lot to do with like my cardio, and that's something that you have to stay like super consistent on. Like you run a mile a day, like I'm sure you notice like every time you do it, you get this like muscle memory where it just becomes easier and easier and easier. Your lungs start to expand, from that duration of time that you do it. And I didn't have that, and so I've from then on been like I want to try to stay as consistent as I possibly can. Also, with my age, I'm 36. I want to see how physically fit that I can get and I can stay consistently throughout the year.
Did you?
And also came from from a New Year's resolution. Like, how you make New Year's resolutions, like, this year I want to do X, Y, and Z. And my resolution was like, I want to keep the energy and the excitement from the New Year's resolution that day all the way throughout the year. So that was sort of my goal, and that was to add that into all aspects of my life. So I figured fitness is one of those things that's easy, because you got to just get up and go do it. There's no.
When you were training for boxing, did you cut the alcohol?
Yeah, absolutely.
Completely.
Yeah, no drinking. A lot of fake shots, a lot of handing away bottles and stuff.
Are you still on that, or are you?
No, I've been fucking drinking like a motherfucker.
I am. I'm still not drinking, man.
Wow.
How long have you been going?
So I was training for a half marathon for the Nike LA. It was supposed to be April 5th, and they canceled that. So February 1st, I had cut alcohol, and I'm still going because in my mind, I'm still going to run a half somewhere around the April 5th weekend because I was already training for it. And just because this stopped and I can still run through the city.
Yep.
So I'm trying to get my run on still and keep that up to par, that this isn't going to change the way I was staying in shape and health. And I had cut alcohol February 1st. So I'm going to keep cutting it. It's so easy right now because I'm home. I'm not like out at the club. Like
me too.
but like you said, the fitness thing, it's like, for me, it's a lot easier to cut alcohol when I'm training for something. Like I'm sure like when you're in training mode, you're like, bro, I'm not breaking.
Correct.
I'm not going to break.
Yeah.
And also one shot doesn't do much for us.
Yeah. When when you set that goal, you start to, I was going to the gym after sets, working out at like 3:00 in the morning.
What?
It just
Mamba mentality.
Yeah, exactly. It just set this different goal for me where it was like, I can't, lose the situation or just like look bad in the situation because I'm not disciplined. And it was cool, cutting out the alcohol, not chasing after women, not, whatever it is. It just changes so much of your time and what what priorities you're making. So
I feel that the big thing, and like what you spoke on too, and it's for myself, is that I have to be like signed up for something to be in that mode. Yeah. Like I can't just be like, nah, I'm just gonna stop right now and just focus on running. Like I have to like physically be like, I know I'm training for something.
I won't do like my homework without pressure, like I need to know that it's due like in 10 minutes because I'm like,
That's true.
We're gonna sign you guys. We're gonna sign you HMC boys up over there for some.
I need it because I ain't gonna lie. This quarantine got me gaining weight, drinking a lot of alcohol, bro. It's like I don't like having groceries at the house because I'll eat it all in one day.
Yeah,
that's how I am, bro. I snack, I drink. So what's some things that we can do? And this is a lot. Like a lot of people are just the first week is gonna be like, oh, I'm enjoying this. Like this is fun. I'm
extended spring break.
Yeah, it's a little extended weekend. Like it's like a long week. It's a week-long Sunday.
I went from a moment of like feeling like overwhelmed. Like I'm always trying to trying to get music done and make music. I'm trying to get to these next shows. I'm trying to plan new sets. I'm trying to make edits. I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to like all of a sudden now there's enough time for all of it, which is.
How are you enjoying this? I mean, obviously it's a forced thing to do, but like we all have to be enjoying the fact that we were able to slow down and regroup and refocus. And all right, now is the time to set goals, new goals, and do normal things like Vi said, clean the house. Like that type of stuff is therapeutic though. Like, like, and like I was speaking to Vice earlier on the phone. And he was like, man, a lot of people are missing out on money, but they got the latest Off-White collab. They got
they were posting 2 weeks ago. I got these Jordans, and then they're like, yo, man,
on eBay.
So now it's a time where you can get your priorities straight. Like, you know what? I don't need these Off-White Jordans. I need to save money or whatever. Like
you have time to go back and look at your finances right now and really see where your money is going. How much? Honestly, me like. My expenses really like I eat out way too much. I eat out, and I know that. Like of course, we eat out on the road when we're traveling, but then when I get back home, like I eat out too much. It's like let's go eat here, grab a bite to eat here, grab a bite to eat here, and I know now like back home where like my wife and I are cooking a lot more right now, even though it's it's just the two of us or the three of us. We have our daughter, but I mean I know that normal routine is like, oh, let me go grab lunch here. Oh, let me go grab some dinner and bring that home here. And like, I know that that's something I gotta like.
I never ate so many scrambled eggs in my life.
When was the last time? Hey, when was the last time you guys had Eggo waffles, man?
Wow.
I had Eggo waffles yesterday.
I started making my own cold brew at home. I was like, well,
I'm still doing the coffee. I think I've been doing the coffee for a while, and then just cooking at home. I was meal prepping before all this shit happened, so I'm still gonna.
That's my next game. I want to learn. I want to work on some meal prep, which I don't know if you do that, Ruckus, but I want to work on meal prepping at home.
I don't, but at Whole Foods, the prepared meal, like the prepared foods
No,
section,
you go pick it up now. Then.
nobody ever fucks with the prepared food section.
No, they
And
don't.
I'm
They
laughing
don't.
because
They don't have
everybody's
it
like,
out anymore. So
don't
you
go to the
gotta do it on
grocery
your own
store.
now.
There's nothing there, and I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Hold on to it.
The whole prepared food section is cracking. There's just like,
Yeah.
What's your diet like, Ruckus?
I'm like a lot of fish and vegetables. You know, I go through like sections where I eat or I don't or I do eat meat. I'm not militant about it. I'll have it here and there, just like, you know, good versions of it, whatever. But I
You
eat
talking about
healthy
red meat or just meat in general?
meat in general, red meat, chicken, you know, turkey, whatever, poultry. And I'll go through sections when I do and I don't. I also watch a little bit, like if I'm doing a lot of the like soy, this and that, the Impossible Burgers, the tofus and whatever else. You know, we don't really know what a lot of that does to us, especially in males. It hasn't been tested in like long periods in time. So I kind of keep that stuff down to a minimum if I am going to do it. You know, it is good to not eat meat, or if you're going to go vegan, vegetarian, whatever, but a lot of that stuff isn't good for you. So if you're going to be vegan, vegetarian, eat like vegetables.
Right.
And so
Not the
a lot
science
of that,
made stuff that
No.
it looks just like chicken lasagna.
Tastes just
Yeah,
like
it
it.
What is it?
looks like it, but it's
Yeah.
made from a bunch of random, you know, like, yeah, some of it's like soy and pea protein stuff, but a lot of it's not necessarily good for you, or it's processed vegetables, which is just as
I
bad.
think we know soy is not good for men.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's balance, right? It's all balance.
A lot of fish and vegetables and a lot of protein shakes to keep the weight, because I'm like Ethiopian, bro. If I stop eating heavy, I get skinny as hell.
That's true. You gotta, because you have a lot of muscle, so you need a lot of food
Gotta
to
feed it.
build muscle.
I think you're the only one that has a 6-pack in this chat.
12-pack. This fool has a 12-pack, bro. What a
Jesus
12-pack.
Christ.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys in the studio at all? Working on
My
music?
studio is outside of my house. So I moved like 2 years ago, and I kept my studio separate from the home family life. And that's backfired on me right now, because I don't want to go to my studio spot that has like 20 other studio rooms and everyone's sharing like 2 bathrooms in that building and circulated air and all that. I'm good on that right now. So I've just been like laptopping it in
I'm
that
definitely
sense.
working, man. I got a record coming out on the 27th. This record Levitate. I'm like, I just keep making all this different stuff. So I have like as open format as my DJ sets are, or as all of our DJ sets are, is
Yeah.
like is the same way I'm making music. So I have like Afro house records and a Latin record.
What's this song about? Like, is it Afro?
The next one that's coming out is it's EDM trap first.
Okay.
I figure, you know, that's what people know me for, and you know, kind of most likely, and they probably expect me to make. So I'm gonna start there. The next one is a Latin record. It's girl Valentina C, and then there's an Afro house-esque record, and then I'm gonna keep cycling through it until you know, let the fans decide if there are any.
Yeah. That's what you just
There
gotta
are.
put it out, and then you'll see what works, because
It's roulette, bro. It's
Whatever-
roulette. It's
Yeah.
roulette. You're placing your bets all over the table, you
You
know?
have to, bro.
Especially with the way all of us play and the music, the taste we have in music, and the fact that everyone that has seen us play and DJ, they can digest all different genres of music. So
Right.
we're able to give that to them, you know, as well as our own releases.
How does this affect you guys? Like, for example, Five and I as FAED, we put out like trap, maybe some Moomba records, and then like Ruckus said, we're all open format DJs. So someone might go to Vegas and see us at a night where we mainly play hip hop stuff, and you got the athletes that like follow us around, and they're enjoying our, like, you know, Gunna sets and all this, and then we promote our new record, and then they hear it, and it's just like,
Yeah.
you a house DJ now?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's very difficult to be like, you know what I'm saying?
Eccentric type vibes of
You
your
might have
music.
like the most advice on this, because you know you've put out probably the strongest amount out of all of us most recently, but it's got to be difficult, because when we've chosen, and I speak about this a lot, like we've chosen the hardest job at DJ,
100%.
Right.
I talk about that all the time.
hands down. Whether that's from keeping up with the amount of music. I mean, I scroll through Headliner on a daily basis, and it's like, fuck, just fucking 80 records came out today. Like, okay, cool. And you really do have to comb through them and find out what's great, what's not. And then, 5 different genres and, all the different tempos, and then keep up with really what's like colloquial, like what's happening in whatever city when you show up there and all that kind of stuff. And even after downloading all of the music and keeping up with everything, you're still going to run into stuff like, oh, I didn't know like Heavy Steppers was cracking in Chicago, or like, whatever it is. Trying to physically keep up with all of that, it's beyond a 24-hour job. It's just like it's just all day, every day. And then when it comes to the music production, people are used to, like consumers are used to going to somewhere to get something, a particular something. So, when the Neptunes were making records, you knew what it sounded like when the Neptunes came on, and that was awesome. And so, that's why you bought into it. Or say Kaytranada comes out nowadays and you're like, okay, cool, I know what I'm doing. This is, I'm going to see or hear Kaytranada because I know what it's going to sound like and feel like. Open format guys, we have this tough situation because one, you can't switch genres when you produce something. You put out a song, like you can't be like, hey, here's a fucking Chameleon single. It's just gonna, every time you turn it on, it's gonna change into something different. It's gonna sound like whatever whatever you decided to make, and that steers your fan base that knows you from live shows into some weird direction. And some misunderstanding about who you are and what they're getting. And I think that there's a formula, and I pray to God that I find it, because I don't want to make any one particular anything, because that's not me, and that's not what we were raised on.
I think Diplo is a perfect example of that.
Yeah,
as long as you, bro, right when you get one record,
everything.
Yeah, you can put out higher ground label and to hip hop songs to country music. So and once you have a hit, like a solidified hit record, like your fans will kind of open up and accept a lot more. So like, and not only fans, you have a whole new fan base.
But Eric and I get people to come see us all the time in like Vegas, and like, what do we do? We're playing our Vegas set, and they still love it, man. Like once they're fans, they just love whatever you do.
Yeah.
Kind of dope, but
they love when you take your shirt off too, Five, and start dancing.
I took my shirt off last night in like a 5-man group chat.
It's a hot one.
Man, but
it's not happening here today, bro.
Yeah, keep your sweater on, bro.
I will.
I don't have no money on me.
No, but you're right. I think once you get like a massive hit, it kind of defines your sound. You're like, all right, this is what they like, and then your next one can sound in that lane, obviously different, but like you know what way to go, right?
My last release that came out was 120 BPM, like more chill, like laid back dance groove called "Drag My Heart." And the next track that I'm working on has a ratchet ass Bay Area rapper that a female on it that I'm working on and trying to finish up. So it's like complete like 180. I'm going a whole different opposite way.
Placing your bets.
yeah, bro. But I mean, in all of our sets, we can play any type of genre, so it'll fit my set. So, it is what it is, and it's what I want to put out. So at the end of the day, it's what I want to do, right? It's what you want to put out. I mean, if I just kept doing one lane and to just try and catch the wave with one audience, like that's not who I am.
How do you play an open format room, Ruckus? Like, how do you read the crowd or how do you know what? Like, I'm gonna start with EDM today or hip hop.
It's I've been in a new spot a little bit. Like I just redid an intro because I always have like that sort of famous from a Busta Rhymes album that we came to bring the ruckus to all you motherfuckers. My old Busta Rhymes album, and it's gotten to the point like I've been using it for fucking 35 years or something like that. Like it's so played out. I couldn't hear it anymore. I was like, dude, got to do something else. And what goes with that is starting to switch up the way I come in. And I've been playing with it here and there to figure out like how to match the intensity of what I have already had. And it's like tough when something is like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's like really hard to
you mean like you're adapting to your new intro?
Yeah, like adapting to a new intro and or just finding a new way to capture that same energy. I usually start out with like EDM, with like trap EDM. But I also I'm starting to watch things start to move a little bit where the feelings to those drops aren't the same, and aren't as accepted. It depends on how you do it. I'm very mild on the ones that I use. I keep stuff like as far away from like a dubstep as I possibly can, and anything that's too like brash to the ear and too scary to the listener, because unless I'm playing that particular show, if I'm playing a show that's festival style.
You're saying you're not fucking with 200 BPMs, huh?
Hard style might be something I may never touch.
Yeah, I don't
know how people do it. Like I fuck with Carnage heavy, but like I was in Singapore playing the F1 thing, and like we played main room of Marquee back to back 2 different days, and I played Friday, played Saturday. I went to go hear his set on Saturday, and I mean, it's not like anybody's going anywhere. Like that club is like the biggest thing that ever landed on the planet. And like, you're there for this party F1 weekend or whatever. And he's just, and I was like, what?
Bro, we do cardio. Like we all do it. That's some cardio. You want to work out, boom, 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 boom. For real. That shit
does it. Snake did it during like his Coachella set for like a good 30 minutes. And
yeah.
I think I was standing there with like Zed and some other people, and we were like, yo.
But I mean, I feel like that's like when punk came out, it's like the wave of punk music, and like what dubstep was when dubstep came out, and like
and a testament to like what we're just talking about with choosing a genre. And somebody told me, I was going through it like a while back, like probably like 2 years ago, going through a moment of trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with production and a sound and or even my live sets, start to grasp and start to put together something that's just for that, like just one genre or maybe 2 genres, something that's a little bit more specific. And a friend of mine who's kind of important person was like fucking flip a coin. And if you can't make a decision, because a lot of times people won't make a decision, you don't know how to to say no to something or be decisive about a situation. To say, me and you are both Libras, it's hard to make. I don't make decisions about shit. And so I didn't necessarily, I never did it, because I still believe that there's a possibility for all genres to win, and there's a way to figure out how to concoct some sauce that is like speaks to each thing. But you're supposed to stick to something, and guys that like hardstyle, they stick to it, and they have die-hard fans that come and listen to it. Like Carnage's fans are nuts, Snake's fans are nuts, and they come and hear them bang out hardstyle and anywhere on the planet. And
that's the difference when you have like fans and ticket sales for people to come see you at a festival. Walking into
that's an important subject, and that's something that we thrive on. We're the cool guys. We're the guys that get hired for that stuff where everybody in the building is fly and wants to think that they can kind of do and be whoever they want to be, and are famous or rich or whatever it is. And it's all grass is always greener. Guys look at us from their side going, man, I want to be able to play this person.
Right.
All the hot girls are there. It's not a bunch of Molly kids running around like back and forth art style.
Exactly. But then they also have the freedom to play whatever it is that they want, or dig deeper in the crates of certain genres and Y and Z. Our parties and our venues to be the hot place to go, just as much as they need us to be the right DJ for the situation.
Yeah,
there's definitely more pressure on us.
Right.
A lot more.
We're like, it's, bro, this is like,
you get yelled at.
it's like
more energy.
I grew up DJing like early years weddings. This is like an elevated wedding game. Like, you know what I mean? I always tell people this. I always do tell a lot of DJs that are like coming up. I'm like, have you DJed a wedding yet? And they're like, no. And I'm like, DJ a wedding to really test your skills and get yourself seasoned with being yelled at, having to switch genres on the drop of a dime.
Yeah, weddings are the hardest thing to DJ.
Hardest.
By far.
If you can survive DJing weddings, then you can move. Hey, what the? Then if you can survive DJing weddings, then you can get into
He just blew up our spot. We're supposed to be
social distancing.
Social.
This isn't distancing.
Hey, 6 feet. 6 feet.
He's in a different studio. I'm in the office.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, but I mean,
social distancing.
I think this is like going back to like social distancing and this time alone, like and getting in your studio or getting in grind mode. It's like, I think this might be a time where all of us can really come back refreshed and like juvenated and ready to go. And as much as you've talked about it on different pods about like changing up that and find new records. Yeah, man, you have more than enough time to dig through your iTunes right now. And maybe this is the time you delete every crate. I actually thought about that recently. I was like, yo, why don't I delete every crate I have and just be like, fresh start. Here we go. Like just to be, it's a scary moment, or at least like your main, like we all have like those 5 main crates that we can whip around.
I got a main 75.
Wipe that. Like, imagine just being like, of course, like your old school crate and all that, you can keep that because that doesn't change. But like the club, that main club crate you have, maybe it's time we refresh that and get that out of there and come with the new shit.
This is 100%. I mean, everybody should be starting anew, in general. And that's the world. And that's in all aspects. That's, not just DJing and whatever else, but everybody should be starting anew right now and just kind of.
The vinyl days, remember the vinyl days where you had to kind of make those decisions before you left the house of do I bring this record?
100%.
And then now, do I bring this record or do I bring doubles or I just bring a single?
Yeah.
Like, because you couldn't carry that much records to a gig. So these are the times where you just wipe your crate and kind of refresh.
I would suggest getting a notepad, writing down what you like about your sets, what you don't. Just invent. I think everybody should just invent themselves. What do you want to dress like, look like, sonically? I want to hip hop DJ. I want to be a house DJ. I want to be a hard style DJ, like you said. I think this is a time where you really where you can really dial in and do the shit. Like, okay, you have nothing but time. Like, take advantage of the social distancing thing that we all have to do. All the lockdowns, unfortunately, we have to face. Like, see the positive, because the last thing you need to do is break down, have an anxiety attack, panic. Like, no one's living a better life than you are right now. Everyone is equal. Everyone's dealing with the same shit.
Yep.
I know some people are more fortunate than others to have like there's people that move to certain markets that don't have family close by. There's situations like that, right, where they're alone. Right. But still, cool. That means you don't have distractions. You know what I mean? Like, I almost wish I was alone. I got 5 coming over the crib, bottle of 42 bottles of wine.
Lysol that dude down.
I've been drinking more than ever.
Lysol him down. Lysol him down.
but I think it's a good time, like you said, reorganize the crates, make mixes, start a podcast. There's people that want to start a podcast, but don't do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, man.
This is the time to better yourself in every way, in every form, whether it's, like you said, putting in the work. And honestly, for me, I've been working on having my daughter learn how to ride her bike more. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be like, all right, there's no excuse of me, like, oh, I was traveling, I get back. It's like, if it's, you want to be like, oh, for a lot of DJs out there have families as well. They might have kids. This might be the time where you're like, okay, well, I can actually give my family more time right now because I'm not 100% on grind mode with working, doing this and doing that.
I think I was going to ask you, like, what is that like? And that's difficult. I've asked like guys like, Diplo's got kids, or like, Felix the House Cat's had kids as long as I've known them, people that have, or several of them. How difficult is that process? And, or what's it like to try to keep up with, with both without putting you on
kids
blast?
And a wife. They're in the other room. For me right now, it's like, this is the time where me and my wife have to become a team at home and be like, all right, we got to give each other our time to get what we want to get done individually. and still come back and take care of our daughter and not just throw her on the couch and be like, here's the TV, you're good. Like, we don't need to, this is the time where it's really like a juggling act and balancing at home, because the more, and parents that DJ parents that might listen to this, the more that you're at home and you realize how much it is to really take care of a kid 24/7 when you're at home, why we should probably pay teachers more at this point and feeling this is that it's a lot of I don't want to call it work, but it's a lot of time to spend with your kid and keep them entertained and be there. So it's really a juggling act to get that done. No kids are good.
No kids. Welcome back, Five.
Hey, sorry, man. My shit died.
Five, you got kids, bro?
Maybe.
Yeah, Five got 4 kids.
I'm like Pitbull.
But yeah, they're actually, it's pretty rare right here. A bunch of dudes, no kids yet. All right.
Yeah, man.
This is probably, I was about to say, this is the time. This is not the time. There's no corn babes.
There's about to be a lot of babies in 9 months.
I haven't no. If Zika has little heads, what COVID got?
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow. No head.
That's a kid with some legs.
Vice is stuck. Vice, you there? Look at my. There he is. He's back.
There you go.
it froze on me like.
It froze.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Yo, but
man.
thank you guys for joining, man. Amazing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Before we check out, man, I just want to commend all the DJs that are here, man. We've all been in the game like maybe 2 decades or something like that, and continuously having success, and that's a blessing. Even this sit down, the short minute that we're gonna have to, or long minute that we're gonna have to, gives us a break. But we've all been crushing it for so long, man, and it's really a blessing to be a part of, man. You guys creating this headliner thing and the FAED thing is awesome. And continue to keep pushing the envelope. Vice, you got sneaker stores and you got a family and you got all these beautiful things that you're doing and furthering your brand. It's beautiful to watch, and all from the platform of being DJs. And I don't think there's a better job in the world. Maybe being a pro skateboarder, that'd be pretty cool. But other than that,
I don't know about that, bro. I ain't ready for a broken foot.
Yeah, those and that sweat isn't sexy, you know what I mean? So DJing is a special thing, man. I really want to thank you guys for having me on today. And
Thank you.
Man.
It's dope how we all inspire each other in so many different ways, and you guys don't even know it. It's dope. It's a good.
I done stole mixes from all y'all, bro.
The brotherhood.
I'm gonna start stealing your Air CDJ guitar joint.
Hey man, nah, you don't want that in your life. I'm telling you, as I catch anybody doing it, you get knocked out on site.
I'm the type that's gonna jump off the stage and break my foot. For sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for somebody to try to do it. Let's see.
Nah, that only fits your brand right there, bro.
Yeah, at this point, it'd be kind of ridiculous.
Well, I feel like we're gonna be doing these again a little more often, so. We got time for these. Maybe we get the questions coming in for the next round.
Gonna say, ask the world, man. What do you guys want to talk about? What do you working DJs out there want to know about us, our lifestyles, our trajectory into where we are at now?
This might have to be a live stream in the sense of when we do it.
We'll call this part 1, and we'll be back. I'm pretty sure you guys have nothing to do tomorrow.
Nope.
I'm sure.
I got laundry tomorrow, and then got us the floor. But other than that, I'm good.
I already swept the floors. Now I'm gonna oil them down. Now the wood floors, oil down. Yeah.
Five's roommate is his Roomba.
Yeah. It is.
Dog. I put a dog on it. A dog ball. But I'm losing my mind, man.
Ruckus, love, bro.
Wilson.
Stay safe. Vice, love you, bro.
Peace.
Ruckus,
Love to all you guys, man. Be safe out there.
Wash your hands.
You walk in the door in a second.
And put lotion on after, man. That ash is real, boy.
Yo, no one's brought that up. Wash your hands, but put some lotion after.
Put some lotion on, man. Just because you're not brown, you don't see the ash doesn't mean it's not there.
That's
get
true.
some crystals in your life.
Ooh.
Hey.
Get your energy right.
Uh-huh.
Get your energy right.
Crystal gang all day.
All right, guys.
This is my energy right here.
Peace.